Hello everyone. Now it took me a while to find a thumbnail for this one. In fact, this might be the longest I've took just to find a thumbnail. And that's not even counting the notes I'm taking for this episode. So yeah, I'm ready to do this. So let's do it. But there is a whole world of different types of drugs out there. Whether it be legal, like prescriptive drugs that your medicine, I take those, so that's okay. Those are fine. But if it's illegal drugs that are like dangerous for your body, then no. There are different methods of actually taking the drugs. I used to be like, how do people even take drugs? Is it like a food or something? Well, I do think they bake them into some brownies sometimes, but that's not the point. The point being, there's pill drugs, and we're talking illegal types, by the way. But there's pill drugs that you swallow with, a drink or something. There's ones that you sniff. There's ones that you inject into your blood, and there's probably other methods than just those. But I'm not a drug expert or anything, but I think it's called, the one that you sniff with your nose is called cocaine. I don't know the names of all the drugs or how to measure all of like the grams or whatever they're called. I don't know any of that crap, but one type of drug called cocaine is one that you sniff. How do you eat stuff with your nose? How does that work? Like, I don't get that. And like, do you taste drugs? Is something that drugs that you taste, or do you just feel them? So many questions, and I may never know the answer, because for one, I'm never gonna take them in my life. Never have, never will. You gotta be infinity years old before you do that. In other words, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can't do it. I mean, you can, but you aren't allowed to. So, it's like, I'll be old enough to drink sometime next year, but I still don't think I'm going to do it immediately. Probably because, one, I don't know if it tastes good or not. I'm not willing to try it. And two, I don't want to get addicted to it. Because I'm already addicted to, like, junk food, and that's enough addiction for me. It's, we'll get to that in a little bit, but we'll get to addiction in a little bit, but one time at my school, a guy who used to be on drugs, he came and talked about, drugs, and one guy was like, he thought he had the excuse to be like, what's it like being on crack? I think he was just trying to be funny though. Like, he was just trying to come up with an excuse to say that. Like, he could have said, "What's it like being on drugs?" Not like, "What makes you think he was on crack specifically?" Like, I don't get that. He didn't specify which drug he was taking. Or took, excuse me. He didn't specify which drug he took, because obviously they wouldn't let a drugged up ass just come into school like that, so. Sorry, that was kind of funny how I said it like that. But anyways, and also, people don't remember what it's like being on drugs, because after they black out, they completely forget everything before that. I mean, not everything, but you know what I mean. They forget what the experience of drugs. I'm sure there's probably, I'm sure somebody has made, I don't know, I mean, I know that there's this one film that somebody made while on drugs, and it was a pretty freaking messed up movie. I'm not even going to say the name, it's that bad. I haven't watched it, and I'm never going to, but that's not the point. The point being that people think differently when they're on drugs, but what does it look like? That's what I want to know. We may never know. I mean, if somebody who was on drugs decided to make a simulation of it, then maybe we know. Like, if they just, used the computer and, animated it or something, I don't know. Or they just drew whatever they saw. But anyways. Now, I have a relative who's pretty badly drugged up right now. it's pretty sad. But sometimes she doesn't take them at all, like rarely. I don't know where she keeps getting them, but that's not the point. The point being that sorry, my nose itches. Where does the point is that yeah, she might be addicted to it, but that doesn't mean she has to do it all the freaking time. Like, people who are addicted to sex, smoking, junk food, like me. I'm addicted to junk food, not sex or smoking, but I digress. People who are addicted to those things, that doesn't mean they're going to always be eating or always having sex or always be smoking. They're going to take breaks every now and then. So, yeah, they just need to take a break every now and then. So addiction doesn't mean doing it every chance you get, okay? Although you do it most of the time. And, well, this relative of mine went to jail for a little bit, but this was a while back, so, and, jail's not the place for her. It's rehab. But I don't know. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to find where I am on my notes here. If you decide to take drugs, you're basically implying that you don't care about your mental health. That's basically what you're saying, and you don't care about your safety. You don't care about any of that. That's basically what you're saying. If you say, "Oh, I'm going to take drugs," and we're talking about illegal drugs, by the way, just so we're clear, because I take medicine, which is considered a drug. I take pills, but those are prescribed. Okay? So nothing to do with, like, cocaine or anything like that. I don't eat stuff with my nose, alright? Now, we can't really get rid of drugs because drugs come from plants or other things, and people will find a way to keep making them, and they'll find a way to hide in, like, large cities, like, behind buildings and stuff, and sell them to people during the nighttime for money, you know? Freaking assholes. Yeah, they just want the money. Well, anyways. Now, marijuana, I think it used to be considered to be dangerous, maybe, but it's actually not. At least not these days. I don't think it's considered to be that anymore. In fact, it might actually help you. That's right. Marijuana is one of those illegal drugs that isn't really that dangerous. And it might help you if you're going through a lot of physical or emotional pain. So why the hell is it still illegal? Like, I don't know. Okay, so say tomatoes were once illegal because they were once considered dangerous, you know, and poisonous. Well, once we figured out that they weren't, the store started selling tomatoes. So why the hell not do the same for marijuana? I don't know. Alright. Now, lastly, I'll leave you with this. It's not just drugs that makes people do bad stuff. It's mostly the choices that people make that causes them to do bad stuff. And it's not causing them to do anything. It's them choosing to do it. It's just that doing drugs make it a lot harder for you to make your own choices. And, but you had the choice to avoid taking them, and you chose not to, so you're kind of implying that you want to be evil. Maybe not evil, that might not be the right word, but you still do really bad stuff sometimes. I mean, nobody's forcing you to commit a crime, unless they are, but that wouldn't be considered evil. The person who's making you commit the crime is the evil one here. Yeah, there is no demon possession that causes those dark spirits to take over your body. None of that crap. It's your choice, mostly, okay? If nobody's forcing you to do it, then it's all up to you. Alright, well, that was this episode. Say no to drugs. They'll probably still keep making them for money in the far future, but who knows? We might have medicine that might prevent drugs from being dangerous, like affecting our health and stuff. Maybe in the future, who knows. But that was this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.